What's up, guys? My name's Miles.
My name's Fez.
This is The Commodity.
And today we're taking a look at 10... That sounded horrible. Today we're taking a look at top 10 worst Australian serial killers.
Yeah, but that brought your vibe down, didn't it? Yeah. So this video was suggested to us by Amber Jade X. Amber Jade X. I had you pulled up on the screen.
With two X's.
It's not even your first suggestion.
I said call her Amber Jade X.
Jade X. Yeah, X.
She just likes Dos Equis.
Anyways, thank you for the suggestion. We truly appreciate it. Guys, if you have any suggestions for us, they're linked to our Discords in the description down below. You can throw the links to the videos you want us to check out in there. With that being said, if you wouldn't mind, let's go ahead and thank today's sponsor. We were pretty skeptical when we were first introduced to the bone conduction audio technology, but the Ouya bone conduction waterproof headphones took that skepticism away pretty quickly. These IP68 rated headphones are perfect for people like us that enjoy every second that they can get in the water, but also want to enjoy music as well. Being made of lightweight titanium materials, they are super comfortable and won't cause earaches after long usage like traditional headphones. Not only do they support Bluetooth, but they also have 16 gigabytes of memory to download music onto the headphones themselves. That way you can listen to music underwater without Bluetooth connection issues. If you want to get a pair for yourself or a friend, click our affiliate link below in the description.
Does that look like a monkey paw?
No, that doesn't look like a monkey paw. Thank you guys for helping us thank today's sponsor. Now, before we hop into this video, if you would go ahead and give us a thumbs up, it truly helps us out in getting these videos out to more people. Also, if you would go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell notification icon, that way you guys can stay informed on our future videos. And if you'd like to help support the channel even more and get an exclusive YouTube short shout out, click that join button down below. Let's hop in.
Though rare to other countries, Australia has had its fair share of serial killers. From Australia's first serial killer, William Macdonald, to its worst, the Snowtown Murders, Australia has suffered a wide range of homicidal psychopaths who were compelled to keep killing until they were caught. Here is the top 10
I was waiting for
worst
pictures of these
Australian
people they were
serial
talking
killers.
about.
The Nightcap. Corruption, murder, suicide, ring. TheNightcap.com. I will tag this channel down in the description if you guys want to go check them out after the video.
Please do so. It's a rule.
The Claremont serial killer. Sarah Spears, Kiara Glennon, and Jane Rimmer are all believed to be victims of the Claremont killer. It is believed the Claremont serial killer murdered at least 3 people in Perth in the mid-90s. All women were last seen in night spots in Perth's well-heeled Claremont. The first woman who disappeared was Sarah Spears on January.
Does it make me a dick that I'm always like, every time it's a pretty girl, I'm like, dang, she was pretty?
I mean, not necessarily, but...
It's not like I say that when they're ugly, and I'm not like, dang, thank goodness they killed an ugly one or something. Like, I don't say that, but I'm always like, man, she was pretty. Like,
well, are you saying like, man, she was pretty, she shouldn't have died?
Yeah.
And then like the other one's like, cool. That's really fucking shitty.
I don't acknowledge the like anything that anyone that I don't find attractive.
Yeah, no, that's
like,
that's
I don't
shitty.
Acknowledge it.
That's shitty.
Yeah, I figured. I figured. Y'all can talk shit. That's fine.
Talk
I get it.
So much shit.
Yeah.
January 27, 1996. After enjoying the nightlife, Sarah had chosen to find her own way home. 3 witnesses
That's
remember
dangerous
seeing
altogether.
Sarah on the Stirling
I'll figure it
Highway.
out, guys.
It's believed that she called for a taxi to take her to Mossman Park. However, the taxi driver couldn't locate her. Her body has not been found.
Still?
Jane Rimmer disappeared on June 9 that year.
Why not?
She had been out enjoying the nightlife with friends. She continued to stay out, though her friends left in the taxi earlier that night. She was last seen on hotel CCTV just after midnight. Her body was found nearly 2 months later, 40 kilometres south of Claremont in remote bushland. On March 14, 1997, Lawyer Kiara Glennon, like the others, was out enjoying the nightlife of Claremont. 3 men at a bus stop remember seeing Kiara walking along the Stirling Highway. Her semi-clothed body was found on April 3rd, 40 kilometres north of Claremont. Following one of WA's biggest investigations, Perth Telstra technician Bradley Robert Edwards, 48, was arrested in 2017 over the murders. His trial took place on the 25th of November 2019. The verdict is yet to be handed down.
Damn.
At least he's still in jail or dead.
Peter Dupas. Australian Peter Dupas had a long, sad history of violence against women.
He looks like he would.
By the time he'd murdered Nicole Patterson, 29, in Melbourne. Dupas had previously been convicted of numerous sex offences between 1974 and 1994.
His eyes are like
They're
lifeless.
dead.
Yeah.
No, there's nothing behind him.
No soul.
Watch him be like laying down on a
Like he is dead.
He's actually
like,
dead.
Yeah.
It'd be really douchey to just like leave it.
No, it wouldn't. He's a serial killer.
He's a serial
Fuck
killer.
him.
Leave his eyes open.
Yeah.
Let his
including
soul.
He didn't deserve to
false
rest in
imprisonment,
peace.
and assault with intent to rape. His crimes became more violent each time he was released back into society. On March 19, 1999, Dupas posed as a potential client and visited Patterson at her Northcote home, which also housed her psychiatric office, for a scheduled appointment. He instead killed the woman, stabbing her 27 times. Appointment at home, which also housed her potential client and visited Patterson at her Northcote home, which also housed her psychiatric office, for a scheduled appointment.
So her home, where he scheduled a visit,
is where he killed her.
is the same place that he had an appointment to go to his psychiatric.
No, I thought she was the psychiatric. He had an appointment with her.
Oh, okay.
He was released back into society. On March 19, 1999, Dupas posed as a potential client and visited Patterson at her Northcote home.
Gotcha.
Which also housed her psychiatric office, for a scheduled appointment.
Now I understand.
He instead killed the woman, stabbing her 27 times. Arrested and convicted in the Patterson killing, Dupas was sentenced to life imprisonment with no possibility of parole. Justice Frank Vincent addressed Dupas saying, "I doubt you are capable of remorse," and assessing the chances of rehabilitation stated they were so close to hopeless they can effectively be dismissed.
You could tell
Dupas
just from
is a
those
major
eyes.
suspect in several other Melbourne killings, including the murder of Messina Halvargas, who was stabbed to death while visiting her grandmother's grave. Margaret Marr, who was also stabbed to death in October of 1997, is also a likely victim. Another strong possibility is the murder of Helen McMahon in February of 1983, which took place in almost the exact same spot that Dupas had previously raped another woman just weeks prior. Kathleen Folbig. It is one of the most disturbing cases of serial killing in world history. Melbourne's Kathleen Folbig was found guilty in 2003 of murdering 3 of her children.
Damn. That's fucked
She
up.
killed Patrick, 8 months old, Sarah, 10 months, and 19-month-old Laura. As there was no obvious cause of death, it was initially believed the children had died of sudden...
How do you have an 8-month and a 10-month?
That's a good point.
Married in.
Infant death syndrome, SIDS, or cot death. Folbig was also convicted of the manslaughter of her child Caleb, just 19 days.
Similar.
She was charged with murder after her husband discovered her diary, which appeared to detail the killings. A 2019 judicial inquiry into the deaths upheld the 2003 verdict. Folbig, who is serving a maximum 30-year sentence, maintains her innocence.
A maximum 30-year sentence.
What?
That's fucking
David
insane.
and Catherine
That is
Burney.
stupid.
It was a
He needed to be
union that
buried
led to
underneath
a
the prison.
horrific
So 2033, she could be out.
Yeah, killing other babies. That doesn't get rehabilitated.
Right.
That is nothing but a strain in a disease on society. That's all that is.
David and Catherine Burney. It was a union that led to a horrific series of rapes and murders. Over 1 month in 1986, and with the help of his partner Catherine, Perth's David Burney raped and murdered 4 women and attempted to kill a 5th. Their first victim was psychology student Mary Nielsen, 22, who visited the Burneys' home to buy car tyres. Once there, she was gagged, chained to the bed, and raped while Catherine watched.
That's fucked up.
She was taken to bushland where she was raped again, strangled, and buried. It was the beginning of a serial killing spree that terrified Perth.
That's crazy.
The Burneys drove around looking for their victims, who were initially trusting of the couple because there was a woman present.
It's crazy how you
Before
become a
abducting
couple
them.
like that. Like you find somebody that's just as fucked up as you are.
Like a pedophile couple or a
Right.
murdering couple or any of these things. It's like, how do you bring that up in conversation?
Like,
Hey,
do you do it on a
wanna
first
go-
date? And what happens if you ask the wrong person that's a police officer?
Or somebody that's completely against the idea? Like, is it like, so I was thinking about, finding a female, murdering, raping,
Unless you met that person in like middle school and you groomed that person to become a fucking terrible psychopath.
that's
Bringing them
like
back to their home in Willoughby,
disgusting.
in Perth South.
crazy.
Their 5th victim, Kate Murray, 17, managed to escape, leading to the Burneys' arrest. Serving 4 life terms, David hanged
makes
himself
more
in
sense.
prison in 2005. Catherine remains in prison and is never to be released.
Good.
William Macdonald. Regarded as Australia's first true serial killer, William Macdonald murdered 5 men in gruesome crimes that included post-mortem mutilation.
Yeah.
Apart from his first victim, who Macdonald killed in a flat in Brisbane,
Could just be a fucked up picture, but he looks like he's got a fucked up face.
I think it's just an old ass picture.
Macdonald's murders took place in Sydney in the early 60s.
It's like he's got a lazy eye.
He
Yeah.
lured his victims to dark spots in public places, then stabbed them multiple times before cutting off their genitals.
Yeah.
At the time of his death in jail in 2015, at the age of 90, MacDonald was the longest serving prisoner in custody.
Wow.
Leonard Fraser. Born
See, do y'all? I don't think we've ever discussed it. If they have the
Death penalty?
So I'm against the death penalty, not for like moral reasons. Like I bury them under the prison. For the U.S., it costs millions of dollars to put one person. I think it's like $1.5 to $2 million to put one person to death.
I think that the death penalty should be more violent,
Oh, absolutely. But
more torturous, and only for certain crimes as
what is that law they passed that prevents
as
that, though?
rape, child molestation,
Murder.
situations like that. I think that they should be tortured to death. Personally,
Let everybody in the family like stab them
yes,
with like toothpicks.
yes.
But no, like, I mean, obviously,
And then pour
what
fucking
is
salt
the
on
law
them.
we passed? It's not a law, but I believe it was a law actually, because they found, I think the CIA was doing that, like waterboarding and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it became illegal, and so that's why they have humane death penalties. But either way, for me, it's more of a social economic thing. Because it costs, I think they said it's like $100,000 for a lifetime in prison or less than that, but it's like $1.5 to $2 million.
I don't think there's any point in taking somebody's life if you're not going to make them suffer.
Yeah, absolutely. That's stupid.
Personally,
It's strictly eye for an eye.
right?
So
For no reason. I mean, if you think
you get to kick them in the balls 1,000 times.
right, like
with
if
a
you
machine.
think someone deserves to die for mutilating another person, then you should think that they should deserve to be mutilated as well.
before murder.
Pre-death.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is how it felt.
Yeah. Like
to the dead
piece
person.
Of shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. That's a good point. I agree with all that.
In Ingham, Queensland, Leonard Fraser spent 20 years in prison for sex crimes before he was freed and turned to murder. He was first convicted over the abduction and murder of 9-year-old Kyra Steinhardt in Rockhampton, Queensland in 1999. While in prison, he was tried for more murders. In 2003, he was sentenced to further life terms for the separate killings of Beverly Lego, Sylvia Benedetti, and Julie Turner.
Yeah, that's when you
He
start
died in prison in 2007.
clipping his
In
fingers
Kyra's
off
murder
with
trial,
cigar clippers.
Justice
Ugh.
Ken McKenzie called Fraser a sexual predator of the worst kind. Thomas Jeffries. His name might not be familiar now, but at the time, his crimes made him one of the most feared people on the continent.
Old school.
Long before Australia's federation in late 1825, British convict Thomas Jeffries murdered 6 people on the idyllic island that would later be called Tasmania. After escaping from prison, the bushranger and other escapees went on a robbing and killing spree that lasted more than 3 weeks. Jeffries' killings included those he robbed, a baby, and a policeman. He was also a violent sexual offender. He was captured on January 23, 1826, and executed by hanging in jail.
See, hanging, I wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
That you suffer quite a, just like drowning.
I'd like to see something like, and I'm not even joking about it, like pinata style. Like let people beat the shit out of you.
That'd be a little fucked up because then the people that are beating the shit out of you, like, I mean, they could, they would be just as fucked up at that point.
Well, their mind would be fucked.
I think.
But that's a good point.
I think burning, drowning, or hanging. But hanging's too quick, so I would say drowning. You can't hear them, and you don't have to see them.
Or
Just
going
put them
into
in a
like
tank
a frozen
that you
lake
can't
and
see.
dying in a frozen lake or something. Is that too much?
It would be, you'd fall like, no, you wouldn't be able to feel the pain at a certain point. You just
John
die slowly.
That's what happens when you
Glover.
get burned too.
Over 13 months,
Yeah.
beginning in March 1989, 4 pie salesman John Wayne Glover killed 6 elderly women in Sydney's affluent harbourside suburb of Mossman, earning him the moniker the Granny Killer. His first victim was Gwendolyn Mitchell-Hill, who he sneaked up behind as she went to enter her apartment building. He hit her in the back of the head with a hammer and stole money from her purse. In his subsequent murders, Glover usually attacked his victims with a hammer before removing their pantyhose and strangling them with the garment. He came to the attention of the police over a string of nursing home assaults that he had also committed. When he was asked to attend a police interview, he attempted suicide and wrote a suicide note. In the note, he had written, "No more grannies," leading to his arrest over the murders.
What a fucking
But
loser.
before his arrest, he would kill one more woman. He was sentenced to multiple life prison terms and hanged himself in jail in 2005.
I bet you, and I'm just guessing here, speculation, something happened with him and his grandma. Or an
Probably.
old lady of some sort.
Probably.
To
At a young
fuck him up.
age.
Yeah. And to be fair, like I don't condone what they do, but it sucks that that's what turns out sometimes.
Right.
Like especially like in the U.S. with the mass shootings, a lot of this is people that have been pushed over the edge.
And they've grown up in terrible homes and
just
things like that.
Poor
I
situation.
don't know if you guys have ever watched like Criminal Minds or something. I get that it's just a TV show, but I mean shit like that, I mean, is pretty spot on. Like they've got their MOs and their like the reasons behind what they do and why they do it. That's right, Straya.
Ivan Millat. One of Australia's and the world's most notorious killers, Ivan Millat is serving life terms for the murders of 7 backpackers in New South Wales' Belanglo State Forest between 1989 and 1992. The travellers, which included 5 women and 2 men, came from Australia, England, and Germany. It is believed Millat picked up his victims as hitchhikers before driving them deep into the forest, tying them up and either stabbing or shooting them to death, or both.
Damn.
He took his time with the killings and decapitated one victim. Her head has never been found. Police began investigating Millat when his name kept cropping up in tips from the public as a suspicious gun-loving person. He was arrested after an English backpacker called Paul Onions, who had escaped Millat during a robbery, identified his abductor as Millat. Millat was arrested on May 22, 1994, and a search of his Western Sydney property yielded a trove of evidence, including a part of the rifle used in the murders and the murdered backpacker's property. Millat died on the 27th of October 2019 without ever admitting to any of his crimes.
Bitch.
The Snowtown Killers, the worst serial killings case in Australian history, exposed a sordid killing club of 4 men in Adelaide and
Wow.
put a tiny South Australian town on the world map for all the wrong reasons. Over 7 years, 11 people were murdered in a sadistic murder spree orchestrated by John Bunting and his mate Robert Wagner, often with help from their cohorts Mark Hayden and James Vlasakis.
That's fucked up. Like, and in that scenario, how do you find 3 other fucking people that are just down to kill someone?
Well, I've heard stories even here of like friends getting they turn, like, you know, the, what is it called? We've talked about it before, Slender Man.
Mm-hmm.
Like they find
You
themselves,
manipulate, and
well, then they find
it's like a cult.
Exactly, they find themselves in these, like, I mean, back then I don't know, but like in the current state situation, you just find yourself in forums, finding people that are like-minded.
Right.
And you're hidden behind a keyboard until you find out whether or not you trust said person that you're talking to about, are they bullshitting me, or are
Right.
they actually interested in going through with this kind of stuff?
Yeah.
The men targeted homosexuals and pedophiles. They dismembered 8 of the bodies with saws and dumped them and pedophiles. Sarkis. The men targeted homosexuals and pedophiles.
At least they got rid
They
of
dismembered
pedophiles.
8 of the bodies with saws.
Yeah.
Well, don't go like this and just leave.
Well, no, I meant for the pedophiles.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, homosexuals are cool. Pedophiles are pieces of shit.
Homosexuals.
So
Yeah.
at least they got rid of those.
We're allies.
Yeah.
So.
And dumped them in barrels, which were found in a disused bank vault in Snowtown. Following their arrests, Vlasakis turned witness, detailing the graphic horrors of the crimes. Bunting was found guilty of 11 murders,
Loser.
Wagner of 10. They are serving multiple life sentences. Vlasakis was sentenced to 26 years for 4 murders. Hayden was convicted of assisting in 5 of the murders and sentenced to 25 years. The evidence given at trial has driven me to the conclusion that both of you are incapable of true rehabilitation, sentencing Judge Brian Martin told Bunting and Wagner. It is no exaggeration to say that you were in the business of killing for pleasure.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I want to say, yeah. Last one. That's fucking crazy, like a killing cult. I mean, obviously there's cults out there that aren't.
Drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to be in a dark place to be able to join a group of people like that. Obviously, all of these people were fucking just cruel, terrible people. But I'm into this kind of shit, just straight up.
Right.
This is the kind of stuff I watch, these kind of documentaries and things like that. So if you got some more stuff like this, preferably something with more like animation or life to it.
Right.
This video was kind of dead.
Yeah.
Very, very good storytelling though.
Yeah, the
So.
storytelling part was phenomenal. the B-roll was a little lacking, a little lackluster.
But thank you for the suggestion.
Yeah, there's always something intriguing. It's not so much that you glorify the actual killer. You're kind of intrigued on the brain.
Exactly.
What's going on in their mindset.
Like, what the fuck are these guys thinking when they do this?
Like, so there's a freestyle rapper I watch a lot. His name is Harry Mack. And I just watched a reaction from a neuroscientist.
I saw that on our homepage. I didn't watch it, though.
I watched it. And, I mean, it wasn't what I was really hoping for, but she had mentioned other people that are artists of, what's it called?
Opportunity? Freestyle?
What's it called? Like, whether you're a freestyle artist or a stand-up comedian that does, what's it called?
Entertainment?
No, like where you're doing it straight off the top of your head.
Oh.
The slam comics.
Fuck. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, or slam poets and all these kind of things that people, I mean, slam poetry.
It's just freestyling, but
yes, it's coming straight out of the brain, and it's just crazy to see how the brain actually functions and works. And, you know, I mean, so many people we as humans don't understand it completely. I mean, we're learning, but we're just like scratching the surface.
Yeah.
And this is like one of the biggest areas that people are trying to understand is what goes on, you know, in somebody's head when they're going to just go and brutally murder, rape, you know, pillage, whatever, to somebody else or some other family or group of people or whatever. Right. It's just terrible, and it sucks because deep down everybody thinks about what if it happened to me.
Yeah.
You know? And that's the most terrifying thing. But guys, if y'all did enjoy this video, please hit the like button. If you want to see our future videos, hit the subscribe button and the bell notification. And if you want to support us directly, hit that join button. With that being said,
my name's Miles.
And my name is Fez.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Peace
out.